Okay, testing. That's nice and loud. Yes, sir. Okay. Okay, testing. That's nice and loud. Yes, sir. Okay. Okay, testing. Okay, it's finally that time. The British Grand Prix, we have 5 lights, and they are out. Low mid on pole, Dakar 2 in second place, just a tenth between the two pole sitters here. It looks like Dakar gets into the first corner first. He's doing a really good job so far. Says he's 20th down here on the leaderboard, but I assure you, he's not. Almost looking like a Ferrari 1-2 right about now. Dakar gets a surprising lead from the rest of the pack. Low mid falls down a little bit here. When these numbers here start to update, then we'll get a better picture of what's really going on. But right now, it looks like Dakar is really stretching his legs here, building up a lot of ERS out the or on the formation lab actually. Um, they're going to be really, really, really reliant on that ERS here, since this track runs the lowest downforce and has some of the longest straights out of all the tracks here. No DRS for Dakar, but the drivers behind him are definitely going to be getting that. Okay, as we see some of the uh, drivers come around the track here, we're just going to see if the timer has issues or continues to have issues. Um, right now, it's reporting Cast as the leader. We can go ahead and fix that. We are on lap 1, so we're just going to go ahead and clear that. All right, let's just give me a second here. Let's just go ahead and sort this out. Okay, after a little bit of a messy start there, we finally get racing on the way. You know, drivers to the grid does not mean drivers go into the pits, change your tires, get new fuel, and then come back on. It does not mean that at all. Do what you're told. Don't make assumptions. Because as they famously said, if you make assumptions, you make an ass out of you and yourself, right? Just be honest here. All right. We've also got Brand reporting as a leader here, but Brand will be coming into the pits. Yes, sir. He stopped in the pits. Not sure why I can't see him. That's weird. Because he's standing right behind. Is this a visual anomaly? Anyway, as we have Dakar, your leader here, coming around the last pit stop. Now, somebody who definitely didn't benefit from this at all was Lomide, who is currently fifth, quote unquote, 57 seconds off the lead. That's going to change soon, as we've got Dakar crossing the line. Once he crosses the second sector time, then he'll actually be your official leader. I'm confused by this. He's standing there, but then the car's here, and we can still see him. It's very odd. Anyway, all right. Just as Dakar finally gets listed as the leader, Kaikira pulls up in second place with Cass not too far behind him in the Aspirit team, which is the Mercedes team during practice for some reason. Anyway, Lomide setting a purple sector. I understand. In fact, sorry, a fastest lap there on lap 2, technically 4 of 39 of this Grand Prix here today. Cass getting ahead of Kaikira here in the Ferrari. That's an interesting development. And Brian coming back out into the track where he was correctly supposed to be. So everybody finally finding their positions, and that's a revelation. Amazing. Okay. So Lomide currently 11 seconds off the lead here. This is more of an interesting race due to some people just making mistakes in the fact that you know what? I'm still mad about that. Hey guys, go to the grid. Pits. Why? Like, come on. Like, you saw the people in front of you didn't pit, so you're like, oh yeah, let's get an advantage. Let's pit. Like we wouldn't see that. But come on. Anyway, especially like if you're Lomide and like you saw that the person you're competing against didn't pit, and then you decide to pit. I'm not sure if the team told him to pit or what, but I think that's an extreme oversight here. Wasn't really looking at the chat here. We've got X Broken, one of our first unbanned applicants, right? So welcome back, Broken. Let me see. And actually making a lot of sense for one of the first times ever. They made the assumption that the pits were open since it was a red flag. That was an assumption, and that was a bad assumption. Okay, meanwhile, we've got Broman constantly begging for a restart, even though nobody wants him to pit. British Aviator telling me that the team did not tell him to pit. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Appreciate you listening to the commentary as well. Hopefully we have no audio issues. Meanwhile, we see, we've got Delta here going through the inside here. We've got Cass going around the outside with Kaikira following just in suit just behind. And I believe that Seng that we have there in the back, it's not Seng. It's Professor Block. So, of course, the teams with the two very similar looking liveries in color. And, look, I know I'm going to get a lot of flack for that, for saying they're similar. Come on, it's dark blue and then a bright color. We've got dark blue and red, and then dark blue and orange. Like, those are very similar. And then on the team leaderboard, their team colors are exactly the same. It's annoying. Somebody did give me a really good suggestion though, and they said to put like the primary and secondary color, which is actually a great idea. Will I do it? Maybe. Like it's good enough of an idea for me to actually start working on. So I think maybe for season 3 we'll see something like that. It's gonna be a little bit of a bitch to like script and stuff and yada yada yada. But hey, maybe it's worth it. Meanwhile, this battle here for second position is actually pretty interesting here. We've got 4 cars battling for essentially what is second place, and I'm going to show you that I promise the slipstream is indeed a real thing. That's why these cars are managing to stay so close to each other. We've got Cast there in the lead of this pack, dipping some wheels off into the grass here. Um, Cast, of course, being the number 16, no, 43 car. That's right, they've changed it. I changed it. We're gonna implement a new thing so that teams can't like choose the same number by accident. Because I know you don't have time to walk up and down the grid, but damn. The number 44 car belongs to Fernand now, even though it should be taken away from them, but it's gonna be taken away from both of them because you're not allowed to run 44. But we just let it slide because I don't think anybody really cared too much. Meanwhile, we've got Dakar on the lead. He's leading by 14 seconds over his main title rival, Lomide. We're going to have to see how the consistency fares during the races. But from what I saw, the first couple of laps looked like Lomide was significantly lacking in pace compared to Dakar. We've got a McLaren here, also rocking the wrong color. Not sure. That's definitely not orange, because like isn't the color below it yellow? Like I think you could have chosen a deeper orange. Like look at the color of the car versus the name on the board. Anyway, where's the second one? Is it Waffles? It is Waffles. Waffles rocking no helmet, but it's fine. He has no hats. Glitches like that will fix that for season 3. He goes straight off and receives a penalty. Okay, awesome. Yeah. Okay, Lomide somehow in the middle of this pack here. Very interesting. Very interesting. Let's keep an eye on that section of track here. So right now we're just gonna go ahead and do corner watch, because one of our last track developers thought, hey, let's not cover up this huge space where you could cut. Let's not do that. Why would we do that? Let's just leave it completely open for absolutely no reason whatsoever. You know, like why would we need to cover up something like this where you can just cut and gain so much time? Why would we need to cover that up? That doesn't make sense. But yeah, he's gone now, so trust me, something like this in season 3 won't happen because we're taking over development of the tracks. So you're gonna have some competent track designers actually working on the tracks. You know, not to say that this is a bad track. I just think in some areas there are some pretty stupid decisions. I believe we see Dakar, our current leader, completing lap 7 using the ERS going down the straight. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. I'm gonna go ahead and guess that was Hero. It's obviously not. It's Tactical Pepsi. What's a Tactical Pepsi? The world may never know. All right, and now we have a nice little barrier here, stopping people from cutting a larger section of the track. Amazing. All right, back up with your leader here. Let me see. We're gonna have to go ahead and like investigate Lomide because I'm not sure how you managed to go from a few seconds behind them to a few seconds ahead of them. So we'll see if anybody has any suggestions. because we will be taking a look at that. All right. All right, we still have Waffles who needs to serve. And let's take a look at his tire status here. Okay, so it looks like he just pit. That's what he did. He said, fine, I hope you get stuck and die. Get stuck and die. All right, we'll take a look at that. Oh, as we see our leader and the two McLarens in the same shot. Beautiful cars, horrible drivers. In fact, we actually never even got to see that car race this season. Low mid-A closing the gap here on Dakar, the gap being 11 seconds. Now stretching its way back to 12 seconds. Dakar pulling away. 13 seconds is now the gap. Low mid-A just seemingly not able to have the consistency to keep up with Dakar. Both of these guys are sim racers here. Dakar driving for the Scuderia Ferrari team, season 1 champions. And these two are definitely championship rivals here. It's going to be very crucial in terms of the championship battle here. There's about 2 points that separate them, arguably. We're not really too sure at the moment. Let's see. Waffles goes ahead and let's see what is Waffles doing. Okay, he hits again. Since he hits again, he's gonna do it. We're just gonna keep tabs on that. I mean, currently running way down in the order, but like, don't cut. Come on. All right. The gap extending here. Looks like Dakar is maybe running the slipstream of some other drivers. He is, which is why he's able to pull away. As we go on board with low mid-A, you're gonna see that nowhere close to any other drivers. As he's got one McLaren ahead of him and two McLarens ahead of him. These two McLarens are constantly on track. Not for any good reason. Not for any good reason at all. Nico actually doing a pretty good job here in 16th. Waffles being lapped twice by his teammate in 16th place. So that's an interesting quote-unquote strategy. You just get lapped so many times that you're nowhere close to the lead. The gap comes down to 12 seconds between low mid-A and low mid-A stopped on the track. That's an interesting development. Low mid-A is your current leader, in fact, actually. Looks like Dakar pit. And he is now ahead? Yes, sir. He is currently ahead. Let's go on board with low mid-A and listen. and Lomide pits from the lead. Let's go and take a look at this battle here between Sang and Cass, as these two are very close together on the track right now. We see Cass here just getting the slipstream from the infantry, the airborne motorsport team, sorry. I believe that's what they're called. And let's take a look at this is interesting. Let's take a look back down the field at Delta, who is battling with Singh in the Spirit car. Purple sectors for Dakar in Sector 1. Good spot, good spot. Green sectors for Kakera in Sector 1. Dakar is currently the holder of the fastest lap as he just pits with the lower fuel and the fresh tires, doing a really good job out in first place. I hear Dakar is running the lower fuel right now, so maybe that brief safety car period, or should we call it the red flag period? That brief red flag period probably assisted him in keeping his lead. Lomide. Yes. All right, let's take a look down the field here. We're going on board with F1 fan 4405. Can't tell if you're a Lewis Hamilton fan or a Sebastian Vettel fan. But hey, look, he comes into the pit, perfect timing. We've got Antelope Racing. We haven't taken a look at this car for a while. We've got Captain Bo also coming into the pits, getting a little bit squirmy on the braking as he puts the pit limiter on, which actually happens automatically. So yeah, shut up. So Antelope actually coming out, taking a very interesting line. We've got one of the Novena cars coming out ahead of him. He's going to have fresh tires, so with the slipstream, he should drag him along. Probably, I'd say one of the better looking cars. Just with some of the worst drivers. No offense. In fact, no offense to Captain Bo, because Captain Bo is fast in F2. And is fast in no series. In fact, almost breaking a record last week, racing in F1, F2, and almost GT3, getting replaced at the last second by a reserve. But if he did race that weekend, he would have been one of the first drivers in Ion to race in all three series, which would have been very interesting indeed. Let's go up to SS2 Goku TB1015 here. Currently lapping slightly faster than Cool Plug. I've seen him gain time on him in the background there. Haven't seen him for a while. Let's see what the gap goes up to. 3 seconds, 4 seconds. Right, so lapping at about 2 seconds a lap faster. Gonna go ahead and assume that Cool Plug Alt is probably on worn tires and hasn't pit yet. We haven't seen him come into the pits anytime soon. Currently being lapped by the leader, Dakar, in the number 42 Scuderia Ferrari. And some interesting drivers back here. Ooh, Russian Power. Interestingly enough, I actually thought they stopped running that livery. Turns out they never stopped running the livery. We just haven't seen it because their cars have always been at the back. Which is, unfortunate for them. It's unfortunate for somebody. We'll figure out who soon. Ooh, hitting the curb there. That's not too good for your tires. Captain Bo in the... Oh, this is actually for position. Yeah, Captain Bo in the Toyota Zen, battling with Ah, man, devil, man, devil. Let's just say mascot because that's the easy part. All right, cool. Yeah, Cat and Bo battling with mascot here for 17th, sorry, 16th position. Both of them tied as they come across the line. So, uh, mascot made a major mistake somewhere. I'm gonna go ahead and guess it's when he hit the curb. He must have lost at least 2 or 3 seconds there. Back to Cat and Bo, but Cat and Bo making up a position in the Toyota Zent. Okay, very very interesting battle. In fact, I believe this is the closest battle on track, so we're gonna go ahead and stay with this. In fact, we've got Nico and uh, what's his name? Ansel battling. Are they battling? I don't think they're battling anymore. They probably were battling at some point. Um, whoa, hold on. Ansel making up positions? Huh? Ansel up into 13th position now. Only 2 seconds behind the other Novena. That's not too bad. Not bad at all. Something's wrong. I can feel it. Lovely comment from Rap. God is back. Hey, I fuck with it. Rap God is back. Something's wrong. I can feel it. All right, good job. Good job. Let's go on board with Kaikiri here. Looks like he's lapping a back marker right now. Another Novena. Almost looked like he was battling with somebody else, but the top four seem to be playing single player. Cast and Sing in the Spirit Cars. Spirit Cars running 5th and 6th right now. They're going to be getting some really good points for the team. Audi is very close to Ferrari in the standings, but it will not be close if SS2 Goku TB1015 does not improve his positions. Okay, oh, Waffles was about to get a penalty. In fact, he is still going to get a penalty since he's not stuck. All right, cool. Well, we're going to go ahead and... Yeah, how many seconds? 258 seconds? How many minutes is that? Okay, well, mascot, he pit and asked his team to speak louder. That was cool. He did it while he was pitting. See, that's smart. You know the people who take the time out of their day to, you know, lose 5 or 6 seconds on one lap just to type a message when they could just do it when they pit. Okay, we've got Kai Kira in the number 86 Ferrari coming up to lap Waffles here, who has just an abysmal amount of corner cuts. Honestly, his race is over. His race is over. Be real now. Comes into the pit and does his DTP. Let's go on board. Okay. All right. Well. All right. Let's go ahead and close these pits up. All right. Cool. So Waffles is out. Um, um, Still managing to be ahead of somebody who's still in the race, or actually just retired earlier. Oh. We've got a huge gaggle of cars piling up in the fourth to last corner. Would be great to know how many corners this track has. Now we're in the penultimate corner and onto the main straight. Let's see here. Let's do a game. Let's play a game. It's called Count the Corners. We've got 1, The two is spirits running really close together. We've got two. We've got three. Let's see what our ping is at, actually. 200. We've got four. We've got five. Would you call that a... I mean, they have to call it a corner. We've got six. Abdi spun. Abdi's racing. We've got seven. We've got eight. With the DRS, will we be able to make it to the end of the server? Okay, I can't lie to you, I lost count. Well, 9 and 10, 11 maybe? You want to play it again? I don't want to play it again. We've got third, fourth, and fifth. Actually, sorry, fourth, fifth, and sixth running all within a second of each other. You can see Delta there in the background holding up the pack. Let's go on board with Delta and see what he is looking at. Delta getting past both of the Spirit cars, putting himself up into fourth. What a great performance from him. And anybody who says that the slipstream is broken, you just got a glimpse of it not being broken. So thank you very much. I'll take my clout and coins, please. And let's go back on board, but with Aseng this time. Yes, sir. Aseng is now the beneficiary of the slipstream. Still behind Delta right now, so he's got some positions to make up. So let's stay on board with Sang here and see how he manages to catch up. With the DRS open, let's see how he goes. And while we're here, let's go ahead and try to get some, what are we gonna call these? Thumbnails? Right, let's go get some thumbnails. So we have Dakar here pulling out a 29-second lead on the drivers behind him, coming up to a huge gaggle of cars. The two Toyota Zen cars running next to each other right now. Antelor and Captain Bo both battling for position here, as we can see them on the leaderboard. Only 2 tenths separate the two, 1.5 tenths. That's 0.150 separating the two. Dakar setting all purple sectors right now, with 0 cuts compared to Lomide's 2. Very impressive lap there from Dakar. Hopefully we should see this lead to more points tallied up to his current win total if Lomide can get a fastest lap too, maybe pitting towards the end of the race. He should be able to reduce that deficit to Dakar in the points, which will definitely help him out for the championship. Fernand in the pits for the Airborne Motorsport team. We see a Delta in the background there in the Red Star Racing team. Now let me tell you why I get confused between Red Star Racing and Russian Power. So, you know how they've got the little star in the Russian flag, and the Russian flag is red? I know the star, actually it's not a star, it's a hammer and sickle, right? Damn, how have I been getting confused all this time? I don't know. Anyway, very special, very amazing, very interesting. Delta currently occupying P3 right now, ahead of Kaikera, who you can see in the background. We should figure out what pit strategy they're on. In fact, let's do that. Kaikera currently running slightly more fuel than Delta, but it does have the fresher tires. So we should see Kaikera catch up to Delta anytime soon. I'm not sure if these guys are going to go for another pit stop, but from what it looks like here, they will be going to the end on this set. Lomide looks like he has enough of a gap to pit and still maintain his second position finish there. He wants to go for the fastest lap. But then Dakar can also comfortably hit towards the end and go for the fastest lap if he sees fit. This might be a standoff here between the two championship rivals right now. And like I said, only 2 points separate them in the standings with 3 races remaining. After this one, there will be 2 races remaining. So Lomide is going to have to pull out an absolute stonker of a performance if he wants to go ahead and close that gap. Of course, him being the subsidiary of the, or beneficiary of the pitting penalty, as he pit and Dakar didn't. So let that be a lesson to everybody. And just do what you're told and nothing else, especially during races. If you get told to go to the grid, don't go and pit, change your tires and change your car, refuel your car. Don't do that, because we didn't tell you to do that. All right, cool. It makes it a lot easier for us, because, you know, return to the grid is a lot simpler than return to the grid, don't pit, don't change your tires, don't refuel your car. Like, you know, it's a lot simpler. Ooh, Lomide making a big mistake there, going up onto the curbs. If he gets stuck there, that'll be very unfortunate for him. He does manage to make it out, but we're going to go ahead and see what how much time he loses there. Gap currently 41 seconds, so he lost about 11 seconds from that little altercation. In fact, about 9 seconds from that little altercation. And let's see what it is in total. Yes, 11 seconds is what he loses. He's got the 2 Toyota Zent cars ahead of him. These guys are battling for position, not for points, but for position most definitely. It's the honor and the glory. How the blank is he gonna lose the win by 40 seconds in front, you idiot? Good job. Who cares if he lost it? He's won. I'm gonna go ahead and guess that's super sarcasm. Or maybe that's just a miscommunication from you guys. Question mark, questionable. We've got Professor Blockster and Delta currently both lapping within a couple seconds of each other. Delta does pit again, so Kaikira will secure that 3rd position for his team, assuming that Lomide doesn't make any more mistakes, which, from what I see here, does seem like he's making a lot of. Let's see if he's able to maintain his position. Car going way wide into the gravel there. We have to do something about that gravel. But we'll see. Scenic is so slow. Scenic. I wonder who that is. Interesting. Sang Stem here battling with Delta here. Delta has the faster tires. The fresher tires. So Delta should probably catch Sang towards the end. This isn't for the podium, it's for 4th place, but for all the glory. For all the glory. Oh. Lol Fun Greg is one of the best YouTubers that I know of. That's true. You know what? We have to give Lol Fun Greg credit because he is quite a whiz in whatever editing software that he uses, and a very good director. I very much enjoy Sang Productions. Sorry, not Sang. Ooh, bad memory. Um, Greg's Productions. Okay. Let's see who's close together on track right now. Antolo and Captain Bo, both running within a second of each other. 1/10, in fact. The testing place is better than this place. Okay. Alright, sure. Meanwhile, in 10th place, we've got Cool Plug Alt. Let's talk about Cool Plug Alt. Cool Plug Alt was definitely one of the more predominant drivers that we saw during Season 1 when he used to drive for the Aston Martin racing team. Now in the Red Star racing car, it's interesting because not only is that car bland, but he's also fallen down the pack quite a bit more. But as I believe Delta said, Ion is looking more like an official esports league because the driver quality is so high. I mean, let's say the driver quality for the top 7 is pretty high. let's say top 8, 9, kind of. On their day, they're within, at least a second of each other, but they are very quick drivers. I've always said, if I raced in this league, which I haven't yet, sad face, but if I did race in this league, I'd probably be a midfield driver. Some people are just uncatchable, like Dakar and Low Mid-A, but we do know that these guys actually do race in real life. So them being good on the simulator is no surprise to anybody. It just looks like Dakar is definitely, without a doubt, the more consistent driver. Let's go ahead and take a look at Low Mid-A. Let's see what he's dealing with. Low Mid-A is fast, but we see him making a lot of mistakes. With Ion, you have the changeable conditions because 1, eye wear, 2, fuel, right? Fuel does have weight in Ion. Then you've got the factor of slipstream and DRS. So when you're in somebody's slipstream, you have a little bit more dirty air, but you do have greater straight line speed. But it's interesting because judging by these guys, anyway, judging by these guys, I'm gonna go ahead and assume. Okay. All right then. Anyway, right. Sure. Anyway, judging from the way that Low Mid-A races, you can tell that he's not quite as adept at getting used to the changeable conditions. It seems like Dakar has more of a feel for the car, but these guys are very close in pace. In fact, Low Mid-A usually out-qualifying him, but just, moments like that where he makes mistakes really do reflect on his driving style and his lack of consistency. But let's not downplay Low Mid-A's performance. He did win 3 straight back-to-back races from South Africa back to whatever our 5th race was, which is 3 races, I believe. Yes. You can tell I'm tired, right? Okay, cool. Just checking. All right, as we now enter the final lap, check this out. We're going to go ahead and stay with our leader here as he factually does come around the last sector, or it starts to enter the last sector, should I say, right about now. We're going to stay on board with him. Okay, he spins into the pits. Kakira secures 3rd place. And let's go ahead and stay with Low Mid-A, as Sang actually ends up being the one who secures 4th position, which is a great drive from him, considering he had more worn tires than Delta, I believe. Did he? I think so, if my memory serves me right, which it never does. Never does. And he doesn't take the option to do the fastest lap. All right, and leaves immediately. Okay, so that is your top 3, ladies and gentlemen. as, oh my goodness, Antelol actually manages to make it over the line, just running out of fuel, and finishes in 14th, I believe. 13th. Good job. Great job. Clearly having to fuel save towards the end there. And apparently Kaikera and Seng were battling. And still have enough fuel remaining to do a precautionary cooldown lap. Okay, and we will just park his car there for Seng. Appreciate it. Alright, Tabaw's joining them on the podium. Okay, thank you to everyone. Oops. All right. Thank you to everybody who joined us. That was Ion Racing Season 2 Bridge Grand Prix. Appreciate it.